but we got the trailer for Daredevil Born Again, which will be releasing on Disney Plus on March 4th. So let's check that out real quick. We'll talk about it. So here we go.
Thank you for finding the time. I will admit, it's not entirely unpleasant seeing you again. A lot of time has passed. By the look of it, you've come up in the world. I could say the same about you. A mayor serves his city. I can see you're not entirely convinced. Can you blame me? I can't shake the feeling that you're gaming the system. Why did you stop being a vigilante? The line was crossed.
That's nice.
It's hard to come to terms with a violent nature. Hating the power it has over us. The city can't go unchecked. Sometimes peace needs to be broken. And chaos must reign. Mind putting the hatchet down?
Nice.
I was raised to believe in grace.
Damn.
But I was also raised to believe in retribution.
Oh,
Jesus.
gee.
Well, I will be going to see that movie.
It's not a movie. It's on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus.
This
Well,
is
that's
a Disney
even
Plus
better.
series. Yeah.
Holy shit.
First of all,
Yeah, this
I
is
wanna-
Disney. I mean, let's think about that for a second.
I-
The
I wanna-
violence.
Here's
want-
the thing.
I want to watch him break his leg.
That was an arm that was broken for one.
I
That
don't
was
care
a
about
leg
the arm.
broken too.
I like when they make comic book heroes with who doesn't have like a real superpower.
Yeah.
Who's still a person who can die just like anybody else, but they make them like these really down to earth vigilante fucking things. You get what I'm saying? Like it's real gritty, it's dark. People get killed. Like there's bloodshed. Like this is real. This isn't Superman patrolling Metropolis here, where nothing can hurt him. This is what Batman's night is like in Gotham, though.
Yeah.
Broken
Or a blind man.
bones. It's real dark. Even the way it's shot, the whole thing is like this. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a real dark tone move, like show. And I love when they did it. Just like when Winter Soldier and Captain America, you know what I'm talking about? The Disney show, right?
Right.
It was dope because of the realness of it. Like it was like same, like these are humans. You know, Bucky's got a cool arm, but like other than that, it's pretty dark. Like,
Which
he
is
was
also kind of go into one of our conversations about could like Robert Pattinson's gritty the Batman work in a colorful DCU? If Daredevil can work in the MCU with Thor and Iron Man and Captain America, why couldn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so this kind of adds to that credence. This is basically a dark or a gritty Batman type character in the MCU.
Yeah.
When it comes to now, and speaking as someone who has actually seen the Daredevil Netflix series, I'm more excited for this show after this trailer than I am for Captain America: Brave New World and Thunderbolts.
Mm-hmm.
I am. I think Fantastic Four is a little higher up my one of the C list at this point. But at the same time, that's good.
When we watched the Daredevil on Netflix, I watched a man get beat with a bowling ball. Like that shit was crazy.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Did you see
And it was like
every season or just a couple?
no, I watched
I
the whole.
like
I watched
seeing
all of Daredevil
Okay, cool.
and Jessica Jones, except for like the last 2 episodes. I didn't watch Jessica Jones.
I never watched the final season, but yeah. So yeah, I mean this Aaron said Daredevil was funny in She-Hulk. I mean, yeah, you could definitely lighten it up too. But I think obviously this is going back to more gritty form.
Mhm.
Clearly, they're taking what worked in the Netflix series and making it work for his own show. He can still have his lighthearted moments and stuff like he did in Spider-Man No Way Home, and
Mhm.
She-Hulk, and in Echo he was a little more like he is in this series. But yeah, but
But,
in
like-
this trailer, oh, go ahead.
I think the grittier feel only works for certain characters too. Like you'd still like in the Spider-Man, yeah, it can be dark and gritty, but not like this. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
Spider-Man
yeah.
is still a very, but
It would
like
be
for
it is going to be
Daredevil,
difficult.
yeah, it's like different levels. Like Spider-Man's in that, it's still sunny, but shit happens level. But Daredevil's in a situation like he lives in Hell's Kitchen. It's called Hell's Kitchen for a reason, and like that's a great depiction. Like that, it's a different level of like darkness to it. You know what I mean? Especially for a comic book.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I like seeing Fisk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That-
we're going to see a
The
lot,
actor
we're
that
gonna see a lot
plays
more of him.
Fisk is great.
Oh yeah,
like
Vincent
That
D'Onofrio is
is-
outstanding.
That makes me happy for Marvel.
We saw the return of Wilson Bethel's portrayal of Bullseye from Netflix's season 3, who looks to be getting a suit upgrade this time. Obviously, we're not talking about the orange jumpsuit there, but his actual comic book potential accurate suit. Hopefully, it doesn't look bad on the series. This set photo doesn't do him much justice. It's not the greatest looking set photo, but I'm sure it'll look better for the show, as this is what he looked like in the comic books. So we'll definitely be seeing a little bit more of that. We also got our first look at bearded Frank Castle, aka the Punisher.
That's
played
who
again.
he said Frank, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Okay,
Played
that's
once
what I
again
said,
by The
Frank.
Walking Dead's John Bernthal. We should also see him once more be suited up, as well as here's some of the set photos from Born Again as well. Him in the classic Punisher suit. So it's going to get bloody with him as well. We got our first look at White Tiger, portrayed by the late Camar de los Reyes, who sadly passed away back in 2023 from cancer. So that sucks. So hopefully what they do
Damn.
with his character. Well, I think he was only like, I think he was in his 50s. From what we see in this trailer, it didn't look like that at all. But yeah, so hopefully whatever they do with the character, you'd hate to see somebody have to get recast right away, obviously. But at the same time, it's good to see the new character being introduced. And of course, we got the new villain outside of Wilson Fisk. We've got the Muse. And for those who don't know who
Oh
the
my
Muse is,
Lord Jesus.
yeah,
I looked
Brandon's
him up
supposed to know.
today, and he is, if you want to talk about like a dark character in Marvel, like I asked this question not too long ago, and I don't think I got a chance to ask you, what's the Joker equivalent from DC to Marvel? He would be on the lines of what that would be.
That's terrifying.
Joker and Marvel.
Yeah.
Big Goblin, maybe?
No.
Yeah,
Goblin had a clear objective.
Well, of course. But yeah,
This
Joker's
guy
more
is
chaos.
not.
Yeah. I don't know if Marvel's got one, to be honest with you. I really don't. It's kind of one of those.
This would be the closest. This would be the closest. This guy.
For those of you who don't know who the Muse is, he's a serial killer who turns his victims into works of art. So it's very creepy, very disturbing individual, no doubt about it. So, and it's pretty well comic accurate when it comes to the suit, from what we can see. So they're definitely going there with that. Mike said a quick side note: who wins in a battle between Daredevil and Batman?
Batman. We're not having this discussion. It's Batman.
Aaron said Batman as well in the chat. So yeah, he weighed in his 2 cents. Especially with
it's not
preparation.
the Minnesota Vikings. I can guarantee that.
Bro, move on. Anyway, let's see here. We got a great shot of Daredevil's helmets. Side note too, I always wondered how Matt Murdock could distinguish which suit he was wearing and why they had different colors. I mean, he is blind.
Probably some like Braille type shit.
Braille,
yeah. I would assume
this one's black. Wear the black tonight.
Yeah, I feel it dangerous.
But anyway, just a little side note I had there. But anyway, now, no offense to Miranda or any other casual potential fans we may have here watching for sure. If you're watching this, you're probably not super casual, but at the same time, I don't want to offend anybody here. But if you feel like this is complicated, you're right. It is. So stick with me here. This is where I would normally lose casuals with this. But anyway, while I'm sure Daredevil Born Again will be structured in a way that'll be a soft reboot that you can start watching without ever watching any of the old Marvel Netflix series, the Netflix shows are now canon to the MCU. And because of that, they are all now available on Disney Plus. As Brandon mentioned, he's seen the majority of them. It sounds like. This technically makes Daredevil Born Again season 4 of the Daredevil series, not a new series. But like I said, it'll probably be structured in a way where you can watch it without watching the old stuff. But if you'd like to do a rewatch before Born Again comes out, or you'd like to check them out for the first time to get the backstory for these characters, if you want to go back and watch the old Netflix Marvel shows, this is how you watch them. since the shows do overlap and cross over with each other, which is why I don't recommend watching them in the order Disney Plus puts them in on their service, or you might get confused. Just remember, Daredevil season 1 takes place after the first Avengers film in the timeline, and watch all these shows around the movies in any way you want in this order before Avengers Infinity War in the MCU. So yeah, so you watch them in this order, otherwise things are going to kind of be out of place if you just watch all Daredevil straight through or all of Jessica Jones straight through. The Defenders is kind of their Avengers where they all team up a bit, so these things do cross over a bit. But even though this is a little confusing, I understand that. I highly recommend checking these out. They're really good, especially every season of Daredevil, especially. So, Miranda, are you ready for a quick binge watch?
I don't think I'm gonna make it.
I promise you, I'm not doing none of that.
None of that?
None of
Well,
it.
even I've not seen all of these. I've not even watched the final season of Jessica Jones, the final season of Iron Fist, or
I might try to
Punisher.
watch all of them.
But
I haven't seen any of the Punisher.
I at least recommend all 3 seasons of Daredevil, which obviously will tie the most into this, if at all. Jessica Jones season 1 and the Defenders probably, and Punisher season 1. Those are all.
Luke Cage was good.
Luke Cage season 1, second one not so much.
Yeah, after they killed Cottonmouth, I was like, I'm done with this shit.
The later seasons outside of Daredevil season 3 kind of fell off a bit, from what I understand. So yeah, but this is definitely the way to watch it. So I understand some, people who don't follow this in depth know this, but this is kind of the dirty territory.
That's a lot of work.
I know, and Miranda's talked about that before, about how it's like, how do you keep track of all this? Well, that's why I think they're structuring this new one like you could just pick it up and watch it and be okay. But if you want to go back and watch some of the backstory and the origin stories and some of the stuff,
we need new writers. That's all.
But that's what I mean. But that's what makes comic books complicated, because you'll get a story in a comic book and along the same lines. Like you'll read, you're 5, 6 episodes into a certain comic book, but then that story can transfer to another comic book that you know what I'm saying. So you get the other half of the story that you're reading in this book and another book. Like, Star Wars did it with how they
well, I have a very dumb question to a nerd, probably. There are still new comic books being written, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
All the time. Yeah. I think like what is comic book day? Is it Wednesdays?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
I think DC just put out their Absolute series with a lot of the heroes and shit.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to say that the comics are released new every single week. Certain was and stuff for sure, but yeah, definitely stuff to check out. And yeah, it is hard. It's confusing in a lot of cases because there's so much to consume. But at least on the movie and TV side of things, I think they're trying to truncate it so people can just kind of jump in, as we've talked about.
I want a new series that I can just start fresh with.
Well, and it's one of those things too. Like they're starting to do it now. Where like say, okay, you want to watch Daredevil, you start watching it, and you only have to watch the Daredevil stuff to understand the Daredevil. Like Guardians of the Galaxy, you don't have to watch any of the other MCU stuff to understand Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
It stands alone.
Yeah.
So they're trying to do things like that where it does connect, but it also stands on its own. So
and it's like if you want to watch the Avengers to understand everything, you have to watch Iron Man 1 first.
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, you can pick up Avengers and get it, but but it helps to have the backstory for sure.
Yeah.
So it's extra, but yeah. So if you just watch all the Avengers movies 1, 2, 3, and 4, I think you could get it. It tells at least the Thanos storyline from beginning to end. So there's that.
Also, the Guardians weren't like super woven in.
No, they intentionally so.
Yeah.
Outside of Infinity War, where they had a small role with Strange and Iron Man and Spider-Man. Other than that, they were on their own the whole time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's always good. Thank you for checking out this clip of the Dragon's Den podcast. If you like what you saw here, please consider checking out our live podcast almost every single Friday night here on the channel at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And until our next video, guys, take care and God bless.